We are WDYR-TV.com. That's all you have to go to, and that will take you to everything that we have streamed up to this point. I want to thank you guys. You guys have done an awesome job. Our first stream was, I think, 6,300 people viewed it. So, and you know, I'll let you guys be the judge if it made a difference in any of the elections. But that's kind of why we're here tonight. If you don't mind, let's stand. We'll have a word of prayer, and then we'll get started. Father in heaven, thank you so much that you give us an opportunity to come together today to not only to share and continue to grow friendships and to share your love among people, but I pray that you will be with each and every one of the candidates, not only the ones that are up here to speak tonight, but are running for office, that you would guide their hearts, their thoughts, their minds, give them peace in what they're doing. And I pray that you will guide, guard, and direct each one of us as we keep you first in everything that we do. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're going to begin with Mr. Jerry Brock. We'll get him first, and Mr. Eric Maupin. We'll get you guys up here. I want to thank you guys for coming, and we're going to do pretty much everybody kind of the same way. There may be a few different questions based on what some of your thoughts are, but I want to begin with you, Mr. Jerry. I want to give you a couple minutes just to state who you are and why you're running for Dyer County Mayor, and just state a little bit about your platform.
All right. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, Chuck, Mike, all of y'all that put this together. I started out on this little journey back in December of last year when I sat down and started doing my taxes. I ran a business before, and I know what it's like to have to live in this county and have to go through the hardships and when it's time to retire. But I'm married to my wife, Candy. I've lived in Dyer County for 61 years. Married my wife, Candy, for 37. We have one daughter, Katie May. We have a son-in-law, Blake May, and a little grandson, Brock Thomas May, and a granddog, Bo May. I love them to death, and we go to Finley Baptist Church. I got saved in 98. I served God. I love Dyer County, and I love people. The reason I started to go on this journey, I'm thinking about retiring, and it's going to be a hard way to retire with $2,000 in a retirement fund, check each month. I'm blessed I have a little more than that, but the people in this county that don't have that, we're going to do something different besides taxing. The taxing is not got to be the only way to raise revenue. I'm running on the platform of we need sales tax revenue. I worked in the wholesale business most of my life, and I've been around retail and wholesale. And back in the day, when I was in the wholesale business, this county was self-sufficient. We didn't have to go out of this county anywhere to buy anything we needed. But now we got to go to Jackson. The people in Dyer County, we make our money here. We have to go out of county to spend our money. People is coming here from 7 or 8 different counties. We got people coming from Lake, Lauderdale, Crockett, Gibson, O'Bine, across the river. They're coming from everywhere to shop here. Folks, when I go to Walmart, my mom's 90-year-old. It's a 3-hour shopping trip. I try to give away some cards and get a vote. I give 3 cards out of 10 couples. Every one of them's from out of county. That's a good thing for Dyer County. We got a gold mine. We need to tap it. I want to be the guy that sells Dyer County. I want to go introduce Dyer County to the retail world where they can come here, set up shop, and let us collect that sales tax revenue so we can grow. We don't have to depend on raising taxes, raising wheel taxes, and maybe, in fact, we might give the seniors a little break on their property tax. There is a form down at the office where you pay your taxes. They give a little break, but there's stipulations. We shouldn't give stipulations to the older generation, to the elder. We need to go ahead and let them have it, not because of what they make, not because of their income on the side. Give it to them. They earned it. They pay taxes their whole life. And let's do something for a change that's in the right direction. Take care of our elderly. Make a place for our grandchildren want to stay here. I ran into a lady the other day. She was coming into Walmart. I was coming out. She was with her granddaughter, Miss Patty, and she introduced her to me, and she said she's just graduated. And I asked the young lady, I said, what do you want to do for a living? She said, I want to be a school teacher in Dyersburg or Dyer County. That's what we need. And she wants to come back here, but she's going to have a reason to come back to Dyer County, not just because she wants to be the teacher, but she wants to raise her children here, get a good education, and have a place that she can call home and be proud of. And that's what I'm running for. We can have a place we can call home, don't have to leave and go get things elsewhere. We've worked hard. We got a great county. Folks, we're blessed, but we need to put God first. We need to pray to the businesses that I want to go open the doors, pray that they open the doors and they will let me come in and introduce Dyer County to them, because that's what you got to do. Nobody comes to your home unless you are invited. And I want to go invite those businesses to come to Dyer County and see what we have. We got great schools. We got places here that I'm proud to know we have. Robert Gibson Oil Company, Kobe Joe's Mail's Diner, Ann's Place, Hippies, Bubba's at Pagoda, the Newbern Cafe, Locks, Timbers, Abe's, all the HVAC men and women that's in that industry, plumbing, electrical, B&B, TG's, Rice Grocery, McNeely's, Tony Kendall. Folks, those are people that got local businesses. We support them now. And the businesses I want to come here, these folks, they have to close down so they can go get things in the afternoon to operate the next day on their small restaurants. But they have a thriving business because they believe in Dyer County, and they came in to open up shop, and they had faith that they would work, and it's working for them. And we need to keep those places going. But if we had a Sam's Club or something, because they have to go every day. They shut down after their meals at lunch because most of them have to go and buy a product they can't get from a truck because they're not big enough to buy from a delivery truck, in which we don't have deliveries in most cases. I mean, they have Cisco Foods or something like that, but back in the day I was in the wholesale business. We had 3 wholesales in this county. We had Leon Harbor Wholesale, which I bought in 87, ran to 92. I had to go out of business. I sold it because Walmart came into play. Walmart came into play, went into the grocery business in 92. They was already in town. That put the mom and pops out of business as we went out of business. Eden and Lamb went out of business. Ray Wholesale sold out to a company in Kentucky. And when the wholesale companies went out, the mom and pops didn't have a place to buy anything from. The big companies that did come in, they put a minimum on them. You got about $2,000 or we're not stopping. And I worked for Wonder Bread 21 years, and the last years of that, same thing happened. Wonder Bread walked in and said, hey, if your customer's not buying $50 worth of bread a week, don't stop. I drove that truck every day by the same stores, and I told them, I drive the white truck. I'm the one that makes the deliveries. Those people made me a living for 21 years. I wasn't about to stop just because they made a rule. And that's what I want to do for Dyer County. I'm going to be the guy. I want to serve Dyer Countyans. I'm not going to serve a few. My card that I put out is a voice for everyone. I want to be that voice, not just for one party, but everybody. Not for one race, everybody. Not for one religion, everyone. So that's who I am, and that's what I stand for.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Jerry. Eric?
Well, it is good to be here, Chuck. Mike, thank you all so much for giving us this opportunity, this platform. I thank Jerry Brock for being here. I want you to know, right before I got up here, my wife handed me a a little card that said "Kiss" on it. And I got all excited, and I thought, well, all right, she's proud of me. She kind of rolled her eyes and said, no, that stands for "Keep It Short, Stupid." So anyway, I'm going to try my best to keep it short tonight. First of all, tell you who I am for those Dyer Countyans that don't know who I am. Number one, I'm a Christian. I'm born again. I've accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Savior, and I want to say that proudly and boldly. Second of all, I'm a husband. I've got my dear wife over here, Joanne. She has been a blessing to me, and I couldn't do it without her. I wouldn't be up here if we hadn't prayed about it and both had a peace about me running for mayor. My daughters, I have 3 daughters. 2 of them are here tonight. I haven't lost a night's sleep over any of the 3 of them. They're my legacy. They're my blessing. And so I want to say that right off the bat. I'm also a farmer. My family's been farming in this Dyer County, in this community, in the Maxey community since 1938. We have been employing people on the same contiguous acres. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of that legacy. I have had the opportunity to own multiple businesses throughout the years and limited liability corporations. And so I understand what Jerry was talking about trying to make a business work in this county. That's another reason that I'm here. That's the reason behind this platform, because I want to see us thrive. I'm also proud to be the Republican nominee, the first time since Reconstruction that a county mayor has an R beside their name on the general election. Now, why is that important to you as Dyer Countyans? Because being a Republican means something. It means I'm going to be conservative. It means I'm going to have limited government controlling businesses in this county. I'm pro-gun. I'm pro-life. All of those things are part of being a Republican, and that's the reason I am Republican. But as far as when I take the oath of office, I don't care who you are. I don't care what party you're from. I don't care what the color of your skin is. I'm going to represent you. Even if you're not in politics, never been in politics, never voted a day in your life, I'm going to represent you, because every decision I make is going to affect every citizen of this county. So anyway, glad to be here. Y'all have any questions for us?
Yeah, we do.
Funny you should ask.
Perfect.
I'm going to start with you, Jerry. You mentioned right off the bat changing some of the things in the taxes. What is your vision to do that?
Well, you know, for the last 20, 30 years, all we do is raise taxes. We don't do anything to try to make it better. Mr. Peckinpah and Ms. Hart, when they spoke, they said, what do you want us to do, cut services or raise taxes? That's not the answer. If we get that revenue in here, we get people in here, and you get that sales tax dollar coming in, we get to keep that dollar. We get to use that. We can use that to put our schools, our roads, anything that we want to spend it on, we can take that money and make this county thrive. If we need to build a building, we may not have to depend on government grants as much. We need grant money. I'm not going to refuse that. I'll take every dime they'll give me. But not all grants are good. But when you get a grant, and if it's a match grant, if it's $300,000 match, if it's something we don't need to get it, because that money's not free. That's tax dollar money. And somebody pays that tax dollar, and it comes out of your paycheck when you get it. If you don't believe me, look at your paycheck when you get one. So on taxes, there's no reason to just keep hammering people for raising taxes. When we have to do it, we need to do it where it's not affecting the elderly. Let's come up with a better way, because I'm telling you, it's going to be hard for a retired person to just keep getting hammered on taxes.
Eric, what is your potential growth? Where do you see the potential growth in this county?
Well, so yes, I agree with a lot of things, disagree with some things. When you start talking about bringing businesses into our county, we all want those things. We want a Sam's. But those companies, when they're looking to locate or build a new building, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be anything, they're looking at profitability. And I'm just going to be honest about it. Here in Dyer County, we've been losing population, according to the U.S. Census, since 2010. They're not coming. We've got to move the ship. We've got to make people want to live and relocate in Dyer County. And how do we do that? We bring in industry, number one. And number two, we need to brand ourselves. When you go to buy clothes, if you're into that, brands mean something. And so when you look at counties, when you look at cities, we need to brand ourselves. We need to have something to draw people in. We have a lot to offer in Dyer County. We have the only one of two bridges that cross the Mississippi River in Tennessee. We have natural gas pipelines that run through Tennessee, or through Dyer County. We have railroad system that's wonderful. Our proximity to I-55, we're right here. Also our proximity to Interstate 40. So we have everything that industry want. And if you put your finger on a map and put it in the center of Dyer County, we're within 500 miles of half of the United States population. So we need to brand our county. When you say Memphis, what do you think about? Elvis Presley, blues. When you think about Nashville, you think about country music. When you think about Gatlinburg, you think about Dollywood. We need to brand Dyer County. I don't know what that looks like. I'm going to pull folks together. We're going to listen to a younger generation, and we're going to find out. We have the stuff to offer. We just need to brand ourselves. I don't know if it's Dyer County Duck Days. I don't know if it's Tennessee's nature spot. Whatever we want to do, we're going to have to start selling ourselves, number one, to the public. Number two, we're going to have to start selling ourselves to the state. My promise to you is that the day I take office, I'm going to start working with Economic Community Development. I'm going to start working with the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. They're going to know where Dyer County is. They're going to know who your mayor is. And they're going to know that we're open for business.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Can I reply to that?
Excuse me?
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, quickly.
All right. We have the traffic flow per day, 28 to 30,000 cars pass Walmart every day. We got 12 to 15,000 out here on the interstate coming through here every day. And trade population, Dyer County is 36,000 to 36,500. Lake County 62 to 6,400. Maupin County 30,000 to 30,300. Lauderdale County is 25,000. Kennett, Missouri 10,500. Caruthersville 49 to 5,100. Dyer, Tennessee 2,200 to 2,300. Weakley County 33,000. We got a population of people connect us, makes us 148 to 150,000. Menards, Sam's, they want 100 to 140,000 people to be connected within a 15 to 30-minute drive. We have that. They're coming here. Any better than that, I don't know what you're going to get. Rural King, they desire 100,000 square foot building, 10 acres. Olive Garden, all the restaurants, about 7,500 square feet for a building, 150, 250 parking spaces. We got the property out here on Mall Boulevard, over here on Community Park Road for the properties. We got the people coming. We can get the business if somebody go knock on that door. I got a feeling nobody went and knocked on the door in a long time to invite people to Dyer County to put a business in here. And we can take all the factories we want, but if we don't have a place to spend our money, that money is no good because it's leaving here as fast as we make it, because that's what we do as Dyer Countyans now.
I think you both have great ideas. First thing I want to do is commend both of you for starting off talking about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's big. So thank you. The thing, you know, you've got great ideas about Sam's Club, about retail, about this, that, and the other. When I became the sports editor in 2004, somewhere around November, I wrote an editorial that I became known for. Some liked it, some didn't, and that's the way it goes. It was about travel ball. It was about accepting travel ball. And, you know, Eric, you mentioned a while ago, Dyersburg having a stamp on something, okay? We've got the interstate. We've got Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky on our borders. I want to know if you are in favor of looking into how much money you're talking about on a weekend to host travel ball tournaments. They're doing it in Dyersburg now at the Activity Center. But when you can talk about all the shops, and I understand that, and more retail. But I think if you saw the numbers that are involved with travel ball and how much it generates and would generate in sales tax revenue, you would be shocked at the amount of money that we're talking about. It's not small pieces. Can you say that tonight that you would be in favor of sitting down with some sports people about getting on board with something like that?
We got to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those are the things that we need. I think that those are the things that we need to work on. Tourism is big. One of the first things that I'm going to do, hopefully, is that I want to do that's on my platform. That goes back to branding our county. It doesn't mean just one thing, duck hunting, I talked about that. But I love tourism because as you're trying to fix your budget, you need that income coming in with no expenses. And so we have tourism dollars that are starting to flow in through the hotel motel tax that was passed a few years ago. What we do with that money is going to be critical. And how we get that message out is going to be critical.
Right.
But I think that it's doable. I think that we can do X and Instagram and Facebook and work with people to get that message out, bring them to Dyer County. My biggest problem is a big portion of our population wake up every morning and get in their cars and go to work somewhere outside of Dyer County. Folks, that is not sustainable.
Right.
We've got to keep them here for those businesses to look at Dyer County and say, I want to come there because it's profitable.
Right.
When you've got your population and a huge percentage of it leaving the county every morning and your population is decreasing every year on top of that, it's very hard. You can ask,
right.
But everyone knows it's all about profit, and so it's very difficult to get them here.
The reason I brought that up real quick is when I wrote that, Jackson didn't have travel ball. Look at it now.
Yeah.
Union City, they didn't have travel ball tournaments. Look at Union City now. You talk about hotel, motel, a 3-day tournament, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mama, daddy, grandma, grandpa, cousins alike, they all come and they stay here for 2 or 3 days. And I'm just asking you to think about the revenue that would be raised by having something like that. It's big business. I mean, $1 million business. Yeah. It's not small potatoes.
And Mike, we got to have places for those people to spend their money. We got to have places for them to sit down and eat. We got to have something when they're in between games, sitting around out in the ballpark. They can go around and spend money. People will get out and shop. If you got your wife with me, she's going to shop. You understand?
Yeah.
That's not a problem. They love to shop.
Yeah.
And we'll get that money. And yes, I understand we need factories, but like I said earlier, we don't spend our money in Dyer County unless we have something to spend it on. We got to have something here for us to spend our money. Factories, I'll take every one of them. I'll take anything that's going to bring a job here. But another problem we have, workforce. We got to get our young people to work. I mean,
I agree.
Because there's so many of them that's not even trained to do anything when they're 18 years old. We got to figure this out because one day they wake up and they don't even know how to do anything. They can work their thumbs.
That's
we
right.
need to get them where because when we took the vocational out of the school system, back when we were in school, you had auto mechanics, you had building trades, you had shop, you had electricity, you had general metals. We had all those. I know we got TCAP. Some of those kids can't make it to TCAP. We got to get back to where we can have people that know how to work with their hands and do things. Engineers, education, I love it. But look, the reality is if you don't have laymen, if you don't have the man who can drive a nail, you don't have a man to build a house, do plumbing, I don't know who's going to work the water systems because nobody wants to run a shovel. I've done that job. And when you get physical labor involved, a lot of people don't want physical labor. We got to get those people in business. But if we get the businesses here, like I'm talking about, we got to have a workforce running those as well.
Absolutely.
So that's a problem we have in this county that we got to fix.
All right, we're about out of time for you two. What I want to do is I want to start with you, Eric. I want you to just make your pitch to the voters of Dyer County. Obviously you've been doing that all evening, but why should I, as a voter who's undecided, vote for you?
Well, absolutely, and I appreciate that. I want to say that this is an important election. August the 6th is going to be an important election for Dyer County. It is going to decide the future of our county. And I don't need the position of mayor. I want the position of mayor. I'm going to work hard. I think that this election's about trust and leadership. You know, the people of Dyer County deserve a mayor that's going to listen, that's going to work hard. Talk is cheap, but work is hard. And I'm willing and prepared to work. One thing that I'm going to say, look at my website. That'll connect you to all the social media platforms, maupin4mayor.com, because I'm going to put out a list in the next few days. I'm going to have listening sessions all across the county in every community because they're important to me. And I want to hear from you. I'm not going to give speeches. I'm going to take notes. I want to listen to Trimble and Finley and Bonaccord and Fulks. I'm going to go to those. They'll be listed when I'm going to be there and how long I'm going to be there. Please come out because I want to listen to the people of this county and I want to hit the ground running and make Dyer County a better place to live, work, and worship.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And Mr. Jerry?
All right. I want to quote the Apostle Paul, 2 Corinthians 11:6, says, even though I am untrained in speech, though I am not in knowledge. I may not speak proper, but let me tell you something. When it comes to knowledge, I got a little bit on the water system. I know what the problems are. It's not just DSCUD. It's every water system in this city. Well, I can help fix that problem. We have problems with dogs. I got plans, ideas for that. We got to work together to get these problems fixed. It's not an I thing, it's a we thing. We all as a community, we got to work together to fix our problem. We got an ambulance problem, we need to fix it. But I'm going to be the guy. I'm knocking on the doors. I'm not walking around here making speeches, name dropping. That's all good. But at the end of the day, those people come to town 4 years, get elected. They leave, go back to Nashville, Tennessee. We don't see them again until the next election time. So, hey, they'll come here with their work boots on, but they're not dirt on them. I got work boots, so I go to work. And I go to work, I knock on the doors to get the vote. I'm not asking anybody to vote for me if they don't have their faith in me. But I'm going to tell you, I'm a hard worker. I worked hard my whole life. I'm here for every citizen. I don't mind listening to your problem at 9 o'clock at night, whatever it's got to take, but we got to do this together. Honesty, I'm as honest as going to get. Sometimes you ain't going to like me because I'm going to tell you the truth, and truth hurts a lot of folks. But listen, Eric's a good guy. I'm a good guy. If I don't win this election, he uses my ideas, I'm a winner. If I win, if he'll help me use his ideas, I'm a winner. But all of us in general in Dyer County would be winners if we work together on this. I thank y'all for your time. And that being said, July the 3rd, Finley Baptist Church had the biggest fireworks in Dyer County. I want to invite everyone there. This weekend, we got Father's Day coming up. Remember the mothers, the husbands are died, passed away, their children, first year without their daddy. Let's remember those people because it's a hard time this coming weekend for a lot. But the people like me get to celebrate because I got my grandson, my daughter. They get to enjoy me for a day, and I'm thankful for Dyer County.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Mr. Jerry.
Thank you.
And Eric. Thank you. All right, next up, we're going to move to the Circuit Court Clerk. We'll start with incumbent T.J. Jones and Lara Jo Gorman. And I want to begin with, if we gave a prize for the most, what's the word?
Colorful jacket.
Colorful jacket.
Who, me?
Yes, you. No, I'm kidding. As we have before, I want to begin with each of you just sharing a little bit about yourself. We normally start with the incumbent, so we'll start with you, TJ, and if you'll just give us a little background on yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you all for having us. I am Tom T.J. Jones, and I am the Circuit Court Clerk. I was born and raised in Dyer County, been here all my life so far. I belong to the First United Methodist Church. have been there all my life as well. It's been my pleasure and privilege to serve Dyer County, first as the court bailiff. Some of you might not know that I was a circuit court bailiff for several years prior to becoming circuit court clerk. Somebody had asked me if I'd been in public service all my life. Well, not yet. In my office, we deal with real people that have real problems. My knowledge of the office places me in a position to be able to help people to solve those problems in the legal way. Between myself and my 8 deputy clerks, we have 170 years of clerk experience. That's a lot of experience that we have garnered together, and I really attribute a lot of that to the girls that in my office, the deputy clerks. They study, they know the law, they know what the office offers and what it can do, and they stay with me. They've been there with me a long time. I can't practice law. I'm not an attorney, but I can tell you how the law is practiced. I've been doing that for many years. I'm a good listener. I'm always someone to listen to. I'm the person you can talk to. Now you go to court, whether it's general sessions or circuit, you can't talk to the judge. I mean, they're up there on the high perch, and you can't talk to them. So when people leave the court, they come to me because they can talk to me. I can talk to them about it. They can vent whatever they've either happy or unhappy about what they've just experienced. They can come to me and I'll listen to them. I represent everybody in this room. I represent everybody outside of this room. I have always done that. I feel like that's what we need to do. I need to represent, in this office, I represent all the Dyer Countyans, and I've always done that. When I'm reelected, I hope to continue to offer the best, most efficient service possible to all Dyer Countyans. I will continue to listen and to help and to guide you through the legal system and continue to improve the office as we move forward. You may not remember what we did or said, but you're going to remember the way I've treated you. And I've tried to make everybody feel as important as they can possibly be, the first-class citizens that all of our Dyer County fellows are. I've always tried to treat everybody like I would want to be treated myself. Now, thank you for your support in the past, your support in the present, and look forward to your support in the future. And I am Tom T.J. Jones, and I'm your friend at the courthouse.
Thank you, Mr. T.J. Lara Jo.
Hello, thanks for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity to share with all of you a little bit about who I am and what I stand for. My name is Lara Jo Gorman. I'm running for Dyer County Circuit Court Clerk. I am a Christian, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, I am a legal assistant. I've worked in the legal field for 30 plus years. I deal daily with Mr. Jones's office and other clerks' offices, the people. I understand the process. I understand how the court works. I hold a bachelor's degree in organizational management and a master's degree in business administration, which have given me leadership skills to be able to effectively run an office like the circuit court. I believe that our county deserves strong leadership, somebody that's present on a regular basis, works hard for the people, works hard for the judges, the courts, the attorneys, and the public alike. Because when people come to the courthouse for help, they generally are coming at some of the most difficult and stressful times in their lives. My goal is to make that office more personable, help everyone that comes in there, and to let them know that we do care. I feel called to serve, and I think I can serve our county well in that position. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to begin with you, Mr. T.J. Jones. I want to ask you. You said a lot of people, when they come out of the court, they don't really, they can't yell at the judge. They've got to come and yell at you, I guess.
That's true.
Or whatever it is. Which leads me to this: how many hours do you think you should be available in office as county court clerk?
I'm
I mean,
available. I'm available 24/7. You can look at my phone record and you'll see where. And I used to kid about when the beer joints closed at 3 o'clock. That's when my phone started ringing. So yeah, I mean, I'm available to the public at any time.
Okay.
Lara Joe, you mentioned during your opening monologue that the people deserve leadership that's there on a regular basis. Can you kind of expand on what you meant by that?
Yes, sir. I believe that the clerk should be present 40 hours a week, maybe not 40 hours a week, but however often the courthouse is open. I believe I should be available. I want to be a hands-on clerk. I want to be present. I want to be there. I want to be included in the day-to-day operations of the office every day with my staff and attorneys, judges, the public.
TJ, do you agree about being in the office 40 hours a week?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I didn't know who you were looking at. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Sure. I mean, I'm there for whatever time it takes. Now, I'm involved in a lot of the statewide committees, the education of clerks across the state, and so that takes me away from the office, at times. But that is for the benefit of the county, because if I go to a seminar that we learn what the new legislators had just done, what the laws that are pertaining to the courts and to Dyer County, it's important for me to be there to hear that. So, I mean, I may not be in the office every day, but I'm there at all the crucial times.
What's the toughest part of that job, TJ?
Sir?
What's the toughest part of that job?
It's all tough. Mm-hmm. But to hear the things that go on, the tragedies in life that we see in the courtroom, I mean, I've been there a long time, and I'm seeing now grandchildren and great-grandchildren of people that we've dealt with years in years past. And that's concerning. But, I mean, that's just life. It's everywhere. But just really dealing with those situations where, somebody comes to court and all of a sudden all of his family's out there in the gallery. Well, where were they when he was out here breaking in cars or whatever? Yeah. That's what bothers me.
What would you do differently, Lara Joe?
What would I do different? I mean, I think there are great things in that office. Mm-hmm. I think every office can be improved. Some of the biggest things that I see are collecting court costs and fines that are not paid. I mean, I looked at a report that was from July 1st to May the 31st, July 1st of 2025 to May 31st of this year. And the fees assessed were about $856,000. Mm-hmm. And as of May 31st, the amount collected was $192,000. To me, that's an issue that we need to focus on. And here's
How would
the
you
reason.
attack that issue?
Here's the reason. That can be collected if I don't want to say criminal, but that's typically criminal cases is what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. If they are employed, that can be taken out of their check. You can talk to them and work out payment arrangements. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a continual payment. But the concern with that is once a case has been disposed for 6 months or more, any money that's collected, the clerk then gets to keep 50% of that rather than just the amount that they were allotted in the beginning. So we have lots of outstanding, I mean, this is just this year. I mean, the numbers for the years past are millions that could bring revenue to our county.
Again, how do you go about collecting that? Just payment plans? Is that what you're saying?
No, you can issue like income assignments to take it from their pay if they're working. If they're working while they're in jail, it can be taken from that as well.
Okay.
One of the things that everybody, a lot of people, voters talk about is, spend. Looking at the budget for your office in comparison to Maupin County, Henry County, it's quite a bit more. TJ, why is that? Why is your budget higher?
Well, really the only thing in my budget that would be higher than those other counties is the salaries for the employees. I've got 8 employees. I have had in the past, I've had as many as 12, and we have cut that back through efficiency and utilizing technology and all. We're at 8 right now. Another thing is actually technology, where we spend our maintenance fee for our computer system goes up, several percentage points every year. I also have the jury attendance line item. I've got, it's just all. Really the biggest portion is the salary with the taxes and the insurance and that thing that are in that. But actually, my budget is not much greater than it's been in years. I mean, it just kind of plugs along. We'll have the percentage increase for the employees, then we'll have the percentage increase for the maintenance fees on the computer. There's nothing extra in it.
Right.
I mean, it's just inflation and what we have to deal with in everyday life.
Well, with your experience, and you've been circuit court clerk for more than 40 years.
Yes.
Is that correct? And you talk about, the seminars and stuff like that you go to. Is there a travel expense in your budget for those things, or do you pay for those on your own?
There is the administrative office of the courts, which is our the big base that our educational programs with. They fund the majority of that. Now, there are some times when I have a travel line item in my budget. It's not very much, but if I need to go to, for instance, I'm the local government data processing corporation. I'm on the board of directors, have been for many, many years. I'm the chairman of the board of directors. And when we have our quarterly meetings, then that comes out of the county portion of the travel budget. I'm also for the West State Corrections, which is a private probation system, not a private, semi-private. I've been on that board of directors for many years, and I'm also the chairman of that board. That comes out of my pocket. There is no reimbursement for any of those travel expenses.
Okay.
And she was talking about the court costs. That's one thing that we utilize to be able to collect court costs. Court costs is not going to be paid the day you go to court. It's just a few times somebody has the money, they pay it then. Most of the time, it takes years to collect that. Last fiscal year, we turned over $2.7 million that we had collected and dispersed through the office, through the 2 general sessions and circuit court. Oh, yes, there is a lot of money that you say on the books, but we don't have it on the books in the court system. It's levied against them, but that doesn't mean that it's going to get paid. Now, there's a way that we submit some of those court costs to the state, and we get reimbursed for some of the felony cases. We get that. A good example is when somebody has committed a crime, and then a few years down the road, they're deciding they want to get their record expunged. In order to expunge that record, they've got to have the court costs paid.
Right.
So they're going to start paying the court costs. I had a man come in really just about 2 weeks ago and he paid like $10 on a case that was about 10 years old. And I just asked him, I know him, I'm friendly with him. I know who he is and everything. I said, how come you hadn't just been paying a little bit on this along? He kind of looked at me sheepishly and said, well, I just got out of prison. He'd been in prison for 10 years. Of course, he couldn't pay his costs while he was in prison, but now he wants to get his life back on track, and so he's starting to do that. That's what court costs does. There's a lot of money on the books, so to speak, but it's not out there. It's not something that you can grab.
Lord Joe, you mentioned a bit in your opening statement about having the experience in all of the things that you've done to manage this office. Expand on that a little bit, because this is going to be a budget that you would get and have to deal with.
Right. I don't have a lot of experience with a budget, but I do have experience managing an office. I did manage a child support office for several years, not in this county. It was in Maupin and Weakley counties. And I have managed other things. I was a manager at a church where I was the financial person and all those things, so I was in control of the budget there as well.
Okay, when you, just a follow-up on that, it sounds like everything that you've had to do there has had to have a balanced budget, basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It did.
And I can tell you, as far as a balanced budget,
Yeah.
we receipt for money and we pay it out. We don't keep the money. It either goes to the state, it goes to the county, goes to the different agencies across the state. So there's not really a balance in there. We end up with zero funds every day, actually.
You said that you had, I believe, eight employees, 8 deputy clerks.
That's right.
Do you need all 8 of them?
I actually need more than 8.
Okay.
But these 8 they've been there a long time, and they're very efficient and proficient in what they do. And so we're not, they understand and I understand that I'm not looking to hire anyone else or replace anybody. I've been fortunate to have several of these girls, like I said, have been with me a long time, and they really know what to do and how to do it.
Right.
Let me say one other thing about the collections. One of the best programs, and this is not a plug for anybody in particular, but this one of the best programs that we've dealt with since I've been the clerk is the reentry program. I think you all may be familiar with that from the sheriff's debate. Mm-hmm. The reentry program with Mr. Kenny Chesser has been so valuable for sending people out to work, getting training in factories and wherever they are all over the county working. And they bring their salary back in, and he takes that salary and he comes and pays their court costs. And he pays their fines and fees and gets their license cleared up where they can get a driver's license. They actually have a GED program that they operate down there at night, and those things are they're just so beneficial for the people that are getting out, and they'll end up having their court costs paid. It's money that we would never see. Right. I mean, we would never see it, and they get out and they've paid their costs and they've paid all of that, and actually they've got some money in their pocket. So I think that is one of the tools that we've been using lately for court costs, and it's been amazing.
All right, we're about out of time. I want to give both of you an opportunity to make one last appeal in this candidates forum for the voters. I'll begin with you, Mr. Jones, okay. And then Laura Jo, you'll be next.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll conclude by saying, I've been doing this job a long, long time. Long time. I'm actually the longest serving court clerk in the state of Tennessee. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the record that I've had in the past. Just the fact that I've been at it a long time, does that mean it's time for a change? Absolutely not. And put it in the context of our country. We're 250 years old. Is it time to change the country because it's 250 years old? Absolutely not. It's not. I'm not going to make any empty promises that I know I can't keep. I know what it takes to do the job, and I know how to do it, and I'm willing to do it, and I do it. Again, I'm Tom T.J. Jones. I'm the Circuit Court Clerk for Dyer County, Tennessee, and I would appreciate your voting for me August the 6th.
Thank you. Laura Jo?
All right. Well, I want the voters to know that I don't take this opportunity lightly. I've worked my whole life to have an opportunity like this. I want to serve this county well. I think I can. I think I can serve our courts, our judges, our attorneys, our public, everybody. I think I can serve them well. I'm running because I believe I can serve well. I will work hard. I'll be accessible. I'll be present every day unless something crazy were to happen. But I want people to know that I will be there every day, present, there to help them in any way that I can. I want them to know that I have the education, the experience, the leadership skills to run the office and to do that well. And I will be committed to serving Dyer County well. My name is Lara Gorman, and I would appreciate your trust and your vote in the election. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was, of course, for Circuit Court Clerk. We thank you, people,
Thank you.
for being up there. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to move on to, this is District A, Position 2, Mike Nix and Larry Shawver. We're going to begin with an opening statement from each of you. We'll start with the incumbent, Mr. Larry Shawver.
My name is Larry Shawver. I'm a deacon at Fulks Baptist Church. I'm a retired tool and die maker, 40 years experience with that. 16 years retired from the Dyer County Sheriff's Department. Right now I'm working every day at the Feed the Children's, the summer feed program. I have 4 children that was brought up in the Dyer County school system. I'm a firm believer in the school systems of Dyersburg and Dyer County. I think we have 2 of the greatest school systems anywhere in the country.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Larry. Mike, let's turn it over to you.
All right. Well, those of who don't know me, my name is Mike Nix. I'm running for our District A, Position 2 also. I've lived here all my life. I'm 50 years old. I've got 2 kids and a wife I've been married to for 25 years. We have businesses here. We have a lot of heart to this county. We've went to school here. We've had family die here, and we've had a lot of experience in this county, and so I just want to come out and I've been praying about this for many years now about running, and finally I got the okay from God. I believe this is my time now, and that's why I started campaigning. So.
Well, Mike, you were successful in the primary, so this will be your second rodeo, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
I want to begin with you, though, Mike. What do you feel in your heart qualifies you to deal with all of the things that the county commission has to deal with?
Well, I mean, I've been part of my district for over 40 years. You know, I know I went to school there. I just have a heart for helping people, and me and my dad went on missions for years and years, and it was just something that I just truly fell in love with. My dad had me hooked from day one with that, and I feel like this is a mission right here at home, right in my backyard, and this is something that is true and to me, that I love, and my family's here, my friends are here, and I will give it everything I got to make everything work. I don't know all the answers to everything, but I will find out,
Okay. Mr. Larry, what are some of the challenges that District A faces right now?
District A, right now, getting people to come out and vote. We're basically a farming community. Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of, we need to try to balance the taxes. I'm a firm believer in that. The 12 years I've been commissioner, I have fought it every year when the budgets come up. You can check my record, and I've been threatened because of the way I vote. But I stand up for the people of District A, and I stand up for all of Dyer County. You can call me anytime, day or night. Doesn't make any difference what district you live in. I will try to find an answer for you. And that's the way I've done. That's the way I stand.
My question, what's the biggest concern? I'll start with Mike. What's the biggest concern that you've heard from your constituents in your district about moving forward?
We got a problem with water. Our water issue is bad. We discussed, I think we're around 1,449 families. We have failing pipes that have been, oh Lord, in the ground probably 32 years longer than they should have been. You know, we've got lines failing, meters failing. I went out today down Tate Road, water just running down the side of the road. I mean, like you could put a canoe in it and float down it. And I talked to one of the neighbors there, and they said it's been ongoing for weeks now. And so I think it's a really big issue. There has been talk about this grant. I think it's supposed to be projected at about $1 million roughly. And I think we will have to come up with a percentage of that, of course. But that is one of my biggest issues with our district, I think, right now.
Do you think
just including the internet thing going on right now?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Do you think that grant will be enough to do it? In your heart?
No, sir, it will not. Well, I'm going to get with a couple of guys that are going to tell me what inch pipe they feel like would be to give that static pressure to the lines. From my experience with that, I think roughly about a 2-inch pipe. The polymer pipes are going to last for probably when we're dead and gone, versus the old cast iron, which are just full of rust. They can't keep going like this. It's just every time they're putting Band-Aids on everything. Every time they fix one, and Bishop Subdivision, well, I was down there and they were fixing one in one yard, and then I come back the next day and they were in another yard fixing it. It's just Band-Aids, you know. But no, it's not going to be enough, but it will get a good start, you know, for us and in the right direction, I believe. But I believe we can, like they were saying earlier, I don't think grants are everything, but they will help, you know, and I think we could probably find some more to help in that situation as well. So.
Mr. Larry, what would you do in that position?
I'm saying with Mike, I think the grant's good, but I think this grant is going about the wrong way. This $1 million grant that they've got is going to be to put in new readless meters. We've got 749 leaks from the meters to the main. Putting in new meters is not going to solve that problem. You fix the leaks before you put in new meters. Then there's, like Mike said, if in our district out there, there's days that the water will look like that podium right there. Mm-hmm. You can't wash your clothes in it. You can't take a bath. And it may be like that for 3 or 4 days. And like Mike says, on Tate Road, that water's been running down Tate Road, I know, for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. But nobody's come by to fix it.
How do you fix it? How do you fix it?
Well, first thing you got to do is come out there and find out where it's leaking at, because you got a pipe leaking there somewhere.
Nobody's been out there with all this going on to check it?
No, sir.
Wow. That's pretty sad. Whose responsibility is that?
This good.
Okay. Go ahead if you weren't finished. Go ahead if you weren't finished about how you fix it.
Okay. Well, and that's the problem that you have. And if you're not out there in that district, when you go to the office down there, you cannot go inside to talk to anybody. You can't go inside to pay your bill, anything else. You got to drive up to the drive-up window, and whoever happens to come up to the window, that's who you talk to. And sometimes you can talk to them, and it's like talking to this podium right here. It goes in one ear and out the other one.
Do they live in that district, the people you're talking about? People that are working there?
Some of them do, yes. Some of them live at Finley.
You think they care a little bit more about the color of their water?
You would think so, yeah, but not.
So that being obviously the biggest service that we need. I mean, that makes, the internet
pale in comparison.
Yeah, pales in compared to that. Obviously, for enough money, bad joke, but for enough money you can make water flow uphill, but it takes money to do it.
That's correct.
Money and planning and so forth.
Right.
Mike, going forward, it sounds like this will be one of the biggest things that you would have to deal with coming into this. Are there any other areas that you can think of that we would be able to get funding for something like this?
Well, I mean, I think bidding it out is going to be a right step. There's going to be some local guys, which is a great thing because they're going to keep money at home. They live here. One of the guys lives, in our district. So, you're talking about really keeping it at home, and he will have, someone like him would probably have a better understanding of it because he's living it every day, and so I think just looking at all of our options with the lines and what I want to do though is I want to get a good figure of what it's going to cost per foot.
That was my next question.
What size and what foot to get that stack pressure it needs to be to homes. I've put in a lot of lines myself, and a typical house has probably about a 3/4 inch PVC line going up to the house from the meter most of the time, coming out of a 3/4. I think a lot of them are probably 2-inch lines coming in. I mean, I'm very lucky where I live, and when they put in a line, they actually put a 6-inch in, which is massive, And but you're talking, we've actually got pressure on that side of town, But as far as all that discoloration, like Mr. Larry is talking about, it's come from that rust, and I believe Mr. Jerry had showed us a picture one time, and it was so much rust inside that pipe you couldn't put a number 2 pencil down it. Wow. So there's your pressure issue, there's your coloration issue, and then when you fill up a bathtub and it's orange, and you're trying to put your little ones in there, we got a problem. That's something that everybody deserves. We don't live in a third world country. We deserve clean water here.
That is unacceptable.
It is, and so.
But you don't really have a gut feeling on how much you think that's going to cost totally.
No, sir.
I mean, just to bring the water, not necessarily the meters, but bring the water to the home.
Not at the moment. I do agree with that. I'm not a big favor of the meter thing either. I don't like that. I think that if you put a new meter in, you're just going to get rusty water through a clean meter. That's it.
Right.
And it's not going to do any good. So, like I said, I've been down that road before. I put a lot of hundreds and hundreds of miles, or not miles, feet of line in before myself, and I know what it takes to do that. But as far as the money issue of it, I don't know. It's something we're going to have to bid out. But I will, make it cost effective for us. And this is somewhat my wheelhouse with this. And if it looks overpriced, we're going to go to the next bid. And so, but we will compare apples to apples, of course. So.
Larry, you're the incumbent. Is that up to you to
No.
go out and get the bid?
It is not.
Give me the
No,
give
it
me
is
the
not.
scoop on that.
No, the county commissioners the DISCUD has their own, they call them commissioners, that they make all the rules, regulations, and all that concerning the water district. We can put our input into it, but that's it. As far as, unless something comes up before the county commissioners to vote on concerning that, we don't have a say-so in it. We just, we can go to their meetings and we can voice our opinion. And
Just like everybody else.
just like everybody else.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I remember I was living here when Dyersburg water had to absorb Roellen. And that was a tough situation back there. But anyway, okay, Mike, go ahead.
Well, I just going back to the Republican primary. If you see kind of for lack of a better phrase, how the swamp was drained with the new faces on the board. You as an incumbent, does that concern you at all, of how much change people want in our local government?
It does, but I've been fighting this change for years. And there's going to be some changes this year.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to have new people come in there. The county commission has been set. We've had a group that if you belong to that group, everybody votes the way that group wants to vote.
That's why they're not there anymore.
That's right. The people, myself, Greg Vestal, we have fought this from the day we was first sworn into office. But you can't fight 11. 6 can't fight 11.
Let me, real quick, I'm sorry, Chuck.
Go ahead.
With the new faces coming in on the county commission, how do you feel you'll work with those new faces?
I think I can work really well with them because, like I said, I have been voted off of the budget committee every year because I question the budget. I go over it with a fine-tooth comb. And there's a lot of on the budget that could be cut back that they don't cut back because they don't question the people. When you bring the budget to them, I've listened to them on the telecast, what they've been broadcasting it. They don't question the people when they bring them the budget. Okay, well, we'll just see what we can do about adding it into the budget.
Yeah.
Well, for those of us that are glad that you question things instead of going along with the group, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to close it out here. I want to begin with you, Larry. Just make your final appeal to the voters of Dyer County. This will be the last one, the last forum that we'll do, Mr. Larry. So why should I, as a voter, vote for you?
Well, the only reason I ask you for your vote and your support is you can look at my record of what I've stood for the 12 years that I have been in office. I have only missed 2 meetings in 12 years, and that was because I was so sick my wife wouldn't let me go. I had hip surgery on 1 week. The next week I was at county commissioners meeting with a walker, but I was there. Okay. I stand for the people in every district, not just my district. I will fight for everybody. So I appreciate your vote.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Larry. Mike, thanks for your insight on the water situation and why do you want people to vote for you?
Well, as a Republican nominee, I just we've been going through this for a little while, for months and months now. But what I want to do is bring a fresh perspective to this, fresh eyes. You know, I don't want to do this forever. You know, I want to get in there and make a change for the good, for our community. And I feel like it's my time. It is. Like I said, I prayed about this for a long time. And I truly feel like that, you know, I was made to be here in this moment and this time. So,
the Lord led you in the right direction.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
How do you feel about the new commissioners that were elected?
I'm friends with every one of them. We have been friends for quite a while. We have the same core values. We all each have our own ideas, of course, but we have been together for a while. You know, with discussing things and trying to figure out what each of us wants from our, you know, to bring to the table for our community. You know, so
good.
And but I love each one of them. They're good.
Thank you.
I will say this in closing. Mike and I are really good friends, so this is not gonna. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mike Nix, Larry Shawver. District A, Position 2 is what we're looking for. Now we're going to Position 2 in District B. Tanner Surratt and Mr. John Utendahl. I want to thank both of you for being here. very much. Mr. John, you are the incumbent, so I want to begin with your introduction.
Thank you. I realize that a large part of the people watching tonight aren't from the New Bern district, but that's where Tanner and I live, and appreciate y'all putting this on tonight. John Utendahl, been a commissioner for 24 years. Some people think that might be too much, and praise the Lord, I've lived to run again. Didn't pass away last year. Got my start in politics. People from New Bern would probably know when I got started is 30 years ago when the county school board tried to steal our high school. And as I told a lady last week, you don't get anything accomplished as an elected official without friends. And we had a bunch of them, but we worked hard, hired the best, most well-known attorney out of Memphis, Tennessee to represent us. And we worked hard for 2 years, had a lot of friends in Dyersburg that also said every town needs a school, every school needs a town. We kept our high school. That's when I got in to politics. Ran shortly after this high school was built. And a lady last week asked me, you know, she'd only been in town a few years, what have you done for us? And I had to take a step back and say, you don't do nothing without friends, but I've helped New Bern, I've helped Dyersburg, I've helped the county do some important things. But again, there are 20 people on the commission. I'm one. It takes 11 votes to get anything done. So I do my best.
Thank you, Mr. John. Tanner?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tanner Surratt. I'm a native here from Dyer County, and I'm married to my wonderful wife, Rebecca Surratt, who just recently moved to Dyer County this past year, past December. Yeah, thank y'all for having me, and let's hope we all have a good night here.
All right, thank you, Tanner. My first question, you mentioned, John, of course, you've been there for 24 years, and that you've done a lot of things that have helped New Bern and Dyersburg. What specifically are you talking about there?
Well, I'll take New Bern first since I live there. Richard Hill was mayor. I was on the education committee for the county, and the school board wanted to replace the elementary school in New Bern. The elementary school was originally 3 stories tall. Top story burned off in the 30s. They just put a new roof on it, and now it was a 2-story building. But it was showing its age. The school board recommended replacing it. Mayor Hill, y'all all would love him, a tax increase to him was just about like a kick in the you-know-what. Yeah. And I happened to be sitting next to him at that meeting, and he was a little squirrely about, is this something we really need to do? It's going to be a 2-3 cent tax increase for the county. And the timing was right. I leaned over to him. I says, Mayor, we're going to get an interest-free loan to build this school, and that's not going to happen again. And that reassured him enough that he supported the school, and we have a new elementary school in New Bern because of it. You talk about Dyersburg, what we've done maybe for Dyersburg. It's going to sound odd to some people. Most people don't even know about this. But for those of you who remember Representative Nafee from around Tipton County, big wheel horse state rep up in Nashville, well, Dyersburg State had built a building in Covington, and it was called, of course, Dyersburg State Community College down there. And it evidently just tore Representative Nafee up. So he used his power to get the state to change the name of Dyersburg State to Western State Community College, which a lot of older people think straitjackets when you hear Western State's name mentioned. It used to be the insane asylum down in Bolivar. And besides that, the only real reason, only real thing that would happen if they changed the name of Dyersburg State, it would take away power and PR from Dyersburg. You would no longer be as well known, no longer be as recognized. So the only thing that would happen would be a negative for Dyersburg. When I found out about this, they already had the stationery printed on the name change. They were ready. I made one text to a friend of mine in Nashville. 2 days later, that was squashed. Nobody ever heard about it. I got it beat before it happened. But again, that's a friend. Now, what have I done for the county? 4 or 5 years ago, the sheriff came to me and wanted the county to adopt a fringe benefit for the employees. And there's a salesman from the state of Tennessee that came by. I met with him, wrote some reports to the mayor at the time. But what he was telling me about how much money we could put in and how much money was going to be, taken out later on, I had enough work through the years that I thought them numbers don't add up. You can't do it. You can't do it. I didn't find out the real truth for about 1.5 years when I went to a statewide legislative conference over in East Tennessee, and the East Tennessee salesman happened to be there and gave a program on it. And I went through the program twice. I filmed it. I asked questions, because what he pointed out to me was what the real cost to Dyer County was going to be. And it was going to take a 17-cent tax increase to pay for that fringe benefit. I caught a lot of heat over that because a lot of people wanted the benefit. But I raised hell. You can't do this. It's too much of a tax increase for one fringe benefit.
That's good, Mr. John.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate that. Tanner, you are running for this office. What made you first of all want to run for this office, and what changes going forward do you foresee wanting to make?
My whole family's had a long political career. Between my grandmother, my father was a county commissioner in Dyer County, and my granddad was an alderman for Dyersburg. So, and then whenever election time really started coming around, I sat down at my house and I prayed a lot, because I'd always thought that it was something that I would want to get into eventually in my life and just see where it would take me, because I've seen how far it's taken the rest of my family. And all the different opportunities that it's given them and friendships that they've made throughout the years. And it's just I think it's a real great experience, and it's something that something I'm very fond of.
Okay. What are some of the challenges in your district that you would love to attack if you were elected?
I don't think it's necessarily just my district. I think it's more or less what I'd want to try and advocate for the county, and that would be to help lower the taxes, and a part of the transparency, and more than I'd like to see term limits. I would, and make sure that everybody has their own time, and that everybody's only able to do so much before you're just like, hey, this isn't a good idea anymore. You're going down the wrong path. Let's see if we can get a new set of eyes and ears in here and make sure that we're still going the right way for the county.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. John,
Yes, sir.
I just have a couple of things. When you are going over budgets and upcoming budgets and votes on budgets, do you research what's going on and what's being voted on?
if anyone has a total grasp of the budget, I'd like to meet them. There's about $70 million involved, and knowing where every nickel goes is beyond a part-time person's pay grade. What I looked at over the years, because I look at this in a lot of ways like a large family. You know, I represent 3,000 people. There's 30,000 people in the county, 10 different districts. Just like in your family budget, you have certain needs. You got to pay for where you live. You got to pay for transportation. You have to pay for this and that. And your main objective is always to keep your head above water and not to spend more money than you got. And that's the way I think the county should be run too. We probably got $50 million worth of buildings in Dyer County between the schools and the courthouse and all the other buildings that we have to provide. One of my fears that I have to keep questioning people about is you've been asked to cut your budget. Usually when people cut their budget, they quit maintaining things. And over the long term, not maintaining your buildings means that $100,000 building you built 20 years ago now going to cost $10 million to build back, but you let it go downhill. You didn't maintain it. So I look on making sure we're solvent. I don't want to bounce any payroll checks. Don't think anybody like that. Right. And I want to make sure that whoever is doing the work does it well. Anything you buy, if you buy something too cheap, you've wasted your money. And we have to watch about stuff like that also. If there's any fraud going on in this county, I'm not aware of that at all. If it was, I'd turn them in.
Well, I'm sorry. I was going back to my question about research and stuff on the budget committee. And the reason I did that is a couple of meetings ago, and I'm a bit paraphrasing, this isn't verbatim, but you said that in all your years as a commissioner, if you had learned one thing, it's to vote with what the budget committee recommends.
That's what I promised them that I would do this year. I didn't make that a permanent process. And I'm not on the budget committee, obviously, but yeah,
right, but
I
you
did
said
I
you
did
would
promise
vote
at that
with
meeting.
whatever they recommend.
This year, whatever the budget committee recommends, I'm going to vote for it.
Okay. I appreciate you answering that.
When it comes to budget and finance and so forth, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of things as you come into that. Mr. John just said that you can't micromanage everything, okay? But some things are important. What would you look at? What do you think in and I realize you haven't been in there yet, but what are things in your heart that you want to watch going forward?
I would like to watch really just our community grow and prosper, and just make sure that all of our checks and balances are correct and in order, and make sure everybody gets paid appropriately, and make sure that everything's just in order, and make sure it's all a cluster. Everything is, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Your home life, regular life, everything's a cluster, but we have to find that happy medium somewhere.
What gives you the experience to do that? Have you done that in the community, or I mean in business?
I attended UT Martin for 3 years, and I was actually an agricultural business major. Mm-hmm. So I took business law, accounting 101, accounting, all different kinds of accounting and business law classes, agricultural classes. So what's the biggest in your community? Is it farming? Is that the biggest? I would say so. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. All right. One other thing that I would like to ask you guys. Of course, this has been a tough election. for incumbents. It really has. What I want to do is I want to ask both of you to make an appeal to the voters. We're going to pretend that, we don't know who you are.
Okay.
And we want you, I'll start with you, Mr. John.
All right.
Why should I, as a voter in Dyer County, select you over your opponent?
Well, unfortunately, you can't vote for me unless you're in District B.
Right,
So
right.
it's not the whole county. But I think I would refer to my little card that I put on doors when I go door to door, and it's 3 things that describe me, and I've done the same thing for 24 years because I haven't changed any, and I don't think the people of this county have changed materially as far as being conservative. I'm conservative. I'm independent. I don't take orders from anybody else. And common sense. Now, what's the word for common sense now? Critical thinking. And I'll ask people out there in the audience a question. Do you think our schools are doing a good enough job teaching thinking skills to our students nowadays? I know there are people in the high school that can't tell you what 2 times 3 is unless they have their cell phone out. Are we going to let cell phones do our thinking from now on? I hope not. Because how do you think that's going to turn out? Not well at all. So you have to use common sense. You need to be independent to keep getting pushed around. And you need to be the conservative. 2 big things, a lot of people have asked me, well, why didn't you run in the Republican primary? You were the first elected Republican commissioner in Dyer County history. I said, I did it because I thought they're wasting money. They wasted $40,000 on a primary. Tanner and I could meet in the August race just as well then as we did going to a primary and then running in August. So I think it's a waste of money, and I did not like it. And that's why I did not run as a Republican this year.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. John. Mr. Tanner?
Well, a good thing Mr. John pointed out was our little campaign cards that both of us have. A big thing on mine that I've got at the very bottom is a new voice for Maupin. And, I guess that realistically District B. But that's what I want to be. I want to go out and I want everybody to know, hey, he is here for us. He's out in the community. He's here at the ball games, basketball, football, baseball. He's out here. He is one of us. He's not hiding in the shadows. And I just want to make sure everybody knows who I am and where I come from and where I stand.
And your name is?
Tanner Surratt.
All right.
Sorry.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Mr. John.
Thank you. I'd like to say one other thing, if I could. This is not merely about me.
Okay.
But I've lived in Maupin my whole life except when I was in college or in the military. But I want to say, any young people that are watching this tonight, if you got the right attitude, think of joining the armed services. We got a free country only because of people like you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so
gentlemen.
much. So we are running a little behind, but that's normal. We are looking, let's see, Laney Bain, Stephen Spires, and Adam McGuire. I haven't seen Adam here. Is he here? You might be the only one. Oh, I forgot. Man, if you're the only one.
A little bit different looking across at me now, ain't it, big boy?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well.
I'm just kidding. Be comfortable, Stephen.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly the same thing that we have done. We're going to ask you, Stephen, to just tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us, a look at your heart while you're running for this position, and we'll just go from there.
Yes, sir. My name is Stephen Spires. I'm 29 years old. I've lived probably within 5 miles of the same place my whole life, which is in District E. I lived off the highway in Findlay for 14 years. I moved to Miss Kelly Loop, which is off of Richwood Road. I lived there 8 years. And now I live between Dyersburg and Lenox, so Findlay is the place that I call home. I've been married to my beautiful wife, Amanda, for 10 years. We have 2 boys, Sawyer and Benji, who are also here and give out. They're tired, so I appreciate them coming. They both attend Finley Elementary School. I was raised in a farming family, and I always thought that's what I would be doing. And then I married young, and I believe my wife and I were 19 and 21, so I got me an older woman. But we got married and had our first son right off the bat. And so I had to give up farming because I couldn't live off $400 a week to be the main breadwinner for my family. And I went to the trade school at New Bern TCAT, and I got a degree in industrial maintenance. And by the time I'd finished the program, Big River Steel out of Osceola called me, and they offered me a job. And so I took it, and I worked the swing shift there as an electrician on overhead cranes for a year. I ended up coming closer to home. I went to Nucor Yamato and worked there almost 4 years. As a steel mill electrician, I worked at all the departments over there just about. I'm enjoying my time over there. The swing shift was a strain on my family, and in an effort to get away from that, I wanted to try to break out and do something else, and I got into construction. I started doing real estate and construction, which I've been doing for going on 5 years. This year makes 5 years. So I started with nothing when I got into it, and through hard work and determination and the grace of God, I've been able to make it to where I am today. I became a licensed general contractor a couple years ago. We stay busy all the time between new customs that we build spec houses for people. I've built some for myself. I've done rentals. I've done flips. I've been very, very blessed. I want to give all that credit and all that glory to God, because the Lord knows I couldn't have done it by myself.
Amen.
But I will say that amidst all that, I have been going to the same church for 15 years, the Free Holiness Church off of Upper Finley Road. I'm the adult Sunday school teacher there, assistant pastor as well, and me and my wife teach our youth group on Wednesday nights. We have about 20-something kids who come regular, and so it's a challenge to juggle all those responsibilities, but all in all, I'm blessed. And so the reason why I'm doing this, back in December, about 3 nights in a row, I lost sleep. It was time to pull petitions if you were going to do that. And I believe God laid it on my heart. And I prayed about it every night, thinking, I don't know if this is what I should do. And like I said, by night 3, I just said, God, if this is your will, give me peace. And I got peace. And so that's what made me strike out on this path. That's what led me here tonight. So that's why I'm doing it. I have issues that I'm concerned about for my district. We are also, we are supplied with DSCUD water. There's that. We have issues with drainage in Finley. It's the bottoms down there. A lot of times it can come up pretty good rain and flood state highways. That's not good. And obviously there are the concerns that affect the whole county. Trying to make it as affordable as possible for people to live here and to make a good living here. I'm very passionate about that. Whatever that looks like, industry, retail, I don't care. Prosperity and safety for this county, if I'm elected, is going to be my aim. And I believe that I got the heart for it. I believe that I got the hustle for it. And I believe that I bring a lot to the table. So,
thank you, Stephen, for also sharing your faith. You've touched on a few of the issues. We have talked about the water.
Yes, sir.
Earlier, and with your construction background, you've had to either sub or do plumbing and so forth. Any idea as to what something like that to repair is going to cost? What would be your best guess?
My best guess, I don't want to make anybody fall out of the chair, but I don't think $1 or $2 million is even going to touch it.
Okay.
So I worked on water systems when I was at Yamato. I was responsible for contact water and non-contact water systems, which basically cooled all of the metal that we would be rolling. That comes out red hot. Everything has got to be water cooled. So it was pretty intensive as far as the knowledge that went into that. And just knowing what the pumps cost, the lines cost for that, which granted that was industrial and this is residential. You're still talking about miles and miles of line. It's going to be, I don't know. I hope that it could be 10 million and not more, but I maybe said too much, but I do believe it's going to be a lot of money.
Well, I mean, that obviously is a big challenge, but at some point it's going to have to be done.
Yes, sir.
I get that. Aside from the water, what would be another issue that you feel is important to you?
Well, there's two. One that I mentioned and one that I left off was the drainage issues that we have. We have Lewis Creek. My memory's failing me now, but we have two more. I want to say that they are federally designated waterways that run through Findlay as you're coming into Findlay. I don't know about the status of when the last time those were cleaned out, but I think that digging them out, something, dredge them, make it drain better. As far as accomplishing that, nobody wants to talk about a tax increase. Obviously, I don't. But they are federally designated. That means that they would qualify for federal grants. Now, getting a grant done for something like that would be difficult, but that would be something that I would, have on my plate. It'd be something that I would try to work towards. Another issue is we have a major stray dog problem. I believe District E is the biggest district in the county. I stand to be corrected. But we have Smurry Bend, Evansville. It comes across to Jenkinsville, Jamestown Road. We go on one side of Jenkinsville, Jamestown, go up to Kelly Road, over to Lennox Nobby Road, and then we're west all the way to the river. Where my wife and I live, we live on the end of a dead-end road. We've been there 2 years. We've had 3 dogs dropped off at our house in 2 years. So we adopted 2. We were able to take them in, and they were kind-natured. We had another one that got dropped off that was mean, and somebody had abused it, and it was a terrible situation. We called animal control. They were able to help. I thank them for what they do. And as far as meeting that stray animal problem, I've heard people say that we need a culture change in how people, own pets or have pets. I think that's going to be a long road, and really we need solutions right now, and I would be interested in trying to work towards that.
Okay. Well, seeing you brought that up, I did want to throw this out there. Instead of, for those of you who don't shoot fireworks, instead of shooting fireworks this year, buy 2 big bags of dog food, and take it to the animal shelter. That's what we're going to do this year.
It'll be hard for my sons to get as excited about that.
Yeah, imagine. But anyway, Mike, go ahead.
Well, I applaud you for coming up, Stephen, and everything you've listed as your reason for running. I think it's you're running for the right reasons. And being young as you are with a young family, I think you're going to do an outstanding job. And I wish you all the best in this upcoming election.
All right. Finally, just make your final appeal to the voters of your district, and we'll go from there.
All right. Again, my name is Stephen Spires. I'm going to be on the ballot August 6th. I humbly ask for your vote and your support. I am a small business owner managing construction, and I understand that what I do probably pales in comparison to what the county has to manage as far as a $70 or $80 million budget. However, I do believe that, with the determination that I have and the grace of God that He's given me to do what I've done thus far, I think that I could serve the county well. And it is an amazing opportunity, and I'm thankful for the chance to be able to do it. I'm thankful for y'all having me here tonight, and I just thank the Lord for being so good to me all these years.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to move to District H, Position 2, with Tyler Rogers and James T. or Bubba Cobb. How you doing? Yeah. We'll start with you, Bubba. You are the incumbent. We've been letting them go first. I want to begin with just a little background on who you are and that you're running.
I'm James T. Bubba Cobb. I go by Bubba most of the time. I'm a lifelong Dyer County resident. I grew up outside of New Bern. I graduated from Dyer County High School. From there, I went to the University of Tennessee at Martin. I taught Dyersburg Middle School for 37 years. I coached and taught there for all of my teaching career. I joined the Tennessee Army National Guard, and I served 42 years and 10 months in the Tennessee Army National Guard and had a couple of deployments there. I've got 2 children. My son, Bubba, James T. Cobb II, lives down in Louisiana, Pipkin, Louisiana. He retired from the Army, and after the Army he served as, with DOD as a civilian. And he lives down there, and I have 2 grandchildren down there. And I also have 4 grandchildren, or 3 grandchildren, and 1 on the way, going to be born. Vanna's got a daughter coming instead of 3. She's got 3 boys already. I've got a daughter, Brooke, here in Dyer County with 2 grandchildren, one going to Dyersburg High School and the other going to 5th Consolidated. So I have children and grandchildren in both school systems here. I'm a proud citizen of Dyer County, a lifelong resident of Dyer County, and I've enjoyed it, and I feel like I give back to the community because of serving on the county commission. Because of my military service, I'm a member of the American Legion here and also the VFW here in Dyersburg. So I'm a lifelong member, or 50-year member of the Cumberland Presbyterian Church here in Dyersburg. Very faithful member there, member of a lot of different committees there. But it's been a pleasure serving here in my district, and I'd like to continue that service.
Thank you, Bubba. Mr. Tyler?
Hey there. I'm Tyler Rogers. Been here for 44 years, all my life. Married to a beautiful woman. Got 4 kids. Got 1 grandkid, 1 on the way. This is what I do. Dyer County is what I love. That's what I want to see grow. And we need a lot of changes to make that happen. We need more industry. We need more retail. We need to prosper, and we're falling behind.
You're saying need to make some changes. What
Yes,
specifically are you is on your heart to change?
So I feel like we need to start with just people working. I can't find nobody to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the job industry needs to really pick up. So that goes back to TCAT, education, the workforce. So we got to start there. We can have every factory in the world, but if we ain't going to run it, where yet? So we need to start somewhere, start with the high schools, get them into the programs, just need them to be more educated, more in the workforce.
Okay. Bubba, how long have you been on the commission?
12 years.
Okay. What are some of the challenges you face there?
Well, we've got a lot of different challenges. We try to please our constituents. We try to please all in the entire county. We try to please our office holders and employees of the county. And we can't please everybody all the time. And that's a real headache for us. And we try to please as many people as possible, but you can't please everybody all the time.
Okay. What's been the toughest part, really, of trying to do that besides the trying to make everybody happy, which obviously none of us
everybody
can do.
wants more money. Everybody wants more money. They've come with their hands out. We've had the ARP money, and you'd be surprised how many different organizations came and wanted money from that ARP money, and we had to try to divide up. And we divided up as much as we could, and some people got turned down, and that's a tough thing to do, is turn down that have legitimate reasons for wanting the money from the county, and that's always tough. Trying to balance what we can do for a raise. We'd like to give our employees much more raise than we do, but we can't always do that. I mean, we try to hold the budget down. We try to keep from having the property tax increase, and we've only had 3 property taxes increase since 2002. So we've held the line, even though it sounds like we raise it every year. That's not true. But when you go forward and you listen to the budget meetings and you have people come in and explain the situation and explain their needs and why they want more money or why they want money to start with, and we have to talk it over and discuss it and either say yay or nay. And that's a heartbreaking situation.
All right. Tyler, how do you feel you will deal with budgeting issues?
So, of course, I'm not a politician, never done it before, but I do own a business. Budget's what I got to go by every day. So I am familiar with, working with a budget, capital, the whatnot. It takes a business to run a business. Dyer County is a business, so I've got the mindset. I've got the experience. I've ran my own business for 8 years. So far, so good. It's been a tough economy, but it goes back to, I've got experience in what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm a good candidate for this. I'm kind of that young, old generation. I grew up without a cell phone, and we worked. And I feel like, we need that new and old vision is what we're needing.
Okay. You are on the budget committee as
Yes.
well. How many hours do you think is put into figuring out, researching all of those things that you have to do to figure out how you're going to present it to the legislative
in
body?
a normal month, 3 or 4 hours a month. Now, in the budget season, when we start in March and April and May, we meet, and we spend hours and hours at home studying the budget and going over the budget. They send it out to us before we have our meetings, and we go over it, and then we have our budget meetings and call the office holders in, or if they come in to present their budget and discuss what they want, if any increase or not. They go over item by line item and talk about it and why they need it and why it's going down, why it's going up. And we spend a lot of time and do our due diligence. And, it's not something we just pass automatically. We do ask a lot of questions. We go over it and spend a lot of time on it. I've spent hours this month already. We had our end of the year budget come out, and went over that to see how we did and whether the office holders are turning tax money back in because they didn't spend their budget. And we have that happen quite a bit. A lot of our office holders don't spend the entire budget they have appropriated for them, and that goes back into the general fund. And we're very fortunate that we've got some great elected officials here, and they do a good job, and they go through a due diligence themselves of what's in the budget and holding it down.
Okay.
I believe going into what's about to be voted on at the end of this month, I think there's a public hearing this Thursday at noon, which won't a lot of people get to be at because they'll be working, of course. But in any case, how did you feel? Did you vote? You voted in favor of this budget?
Right. There's no tax increase at all this year for us, and it's, I heard a lot of comments about a balanced budget. A balanced budget is required by state law. If we pass it after the budget hearing, we're going to meet later this month on the 29th of June. If we pass the budget then it goes to the comptroller of the state. And our comptroller will look at it, and if it doesn't pass, if it's not a balanced budget by him, he's going to send it back and say, this doesn't work.
Right.
Redo it.
Right.
But it's got to be balanced. And we're past this. We turned down some things that some of the office holders wanted, but it's the way it goes.
Right. Okay.
Tyler, you're going to, should you win, you are going to be thrown in the midst of all this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there's a whole lot of new people that you're going to have to deal with. How is that going to affect your focus and your business knowledge that you're bringing? Does that make you nervous? What do you think? I mean, going from running a business to a $70 million budget, what are some of the challenges with that?
There's challenges every day, but just like anything, you just you got to learn and see what's going on. I'm not going to jump in there the first day and know everything. No one does. But I'm dedicated to, if I do get elected, I'm going to jump in there and do my job. Whenever I'm in, I'm 100% in, and we're going to figure it out some way or another. I like challenges, so I think we'll be okay.
Coach, going back to, and I'm sorry, I had Coach Cobb in career studies many years ago, so I always called him Coach. At all of the upsets or the incumbents that were ousted in the Republican primary, that concern you a little bit about what people in Dyer County are leaning toward they won't change?
Well, sure it does. Anytime there's incumbents beat like this, and it happened 4 years ago. We had incumbents beat all across the state. I'm involved in our County Commissioners State Association. In fact, I have the privilege of serving as president now of the Tennessee County Commissioners Association, and I had a lot of friends that lost the election. And then when in the Republican primary, when we had all the upsets here, I had a lot of buddies from across the state, county commissioners from all different divisions of the state called and said, "What's going on?"
Right.
And I said, "It's just one of those type of things. It could happen to me come August." And
right.
So, yeah, I'm concerned.
Okay.
What going forward? I want you guys especially get a lot of let's say challenging press
Yes.
on different things. What is the one thing that nobody knows about that you are the proudest of that you guys have accomplished?
Well, I think I referred to it a while ago, the due diligence that the Budget Committee spends, and we go through the budget, and we go over it line item by line item by line item, and we discuss it with the office holders and why they won't increase in this line item, and they explain it to us. And we sometimes have very lengthy meetings. We sometimes have a 3-hour budget meeting, and it's not supposed to go that long. But we go over those things, and we ask questions and why you want more money, and they explain it to us, and we accept it from them. Because I think our office holders, they're elected officials, and they represent people too, and they want to do a good job, and they do, basically, a very good job. And I'm very proud of the elected office holders we have here in the county.
Tyler, if elected, how ready are you to jump on board with the rest of the new board that was elected in the Republican primary for change for better for Dyer County?
Well, I'm more of a leader than a follower, so I've got my own opinions, I've got my own ideas. Everybody else has got the same ideas, same opinions, but it's all for Dyer County. You can divide us up however you want to, but we're all for Dyer County.
And united, you understand we will be a lot better off,
Right.
not just going along with the status quo of.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good.
All right, we're going to close this part out. I'll start with you, Bubba, if you will just make your appeal to the voters of Dyer County and anything that you want to say to them in closing tonight.
Well, I'm James T. Bubba Cobb. I'm running for re-election, District H, Position 2. I've served 12 years in this office. I feel like I've been an honest, honorable person in the position. I think you can trust what I say because I work very diligently. I've worked on a lot of different committees. I very seldom miss any kind of meeting. I don't miss a commission meeting. I don't miss committee meetings, and we meet quite often. You can expect that due diligence from now on. And I thank you.
All right, Mr. Tyler.
I'm Tyler Rogers, District H, Position 2. I'm for the Dyer County people. We got to make this better. We got to expand. We got to grow. We're falling behind. We just need new vision, new ideas. We just got to bring it in.
All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
Now, is Daryl McElrath here? He's not here? Okay. And I knew Casey wasn't going to be here. He had a meeting tonight. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Did you say that to him? Say that to him.
He said, "Go Trojans."
He
That's
did
what
not.
He said. That's right.
Okay.
Inside joke.
Is Amy and Pam here? Okay, we have one. Is Pam's not here? Haven't seen her tonight? Okay. Well, Amy, it looks like
It's just pie.
We are going to mess with you all by yourself.
Oh, good, because I'm ready.
I know you are. This is District I, Position 2, and you are not the incumbent, but I don't care. You're going first.
Okay.
And last.
And last.
So, Amy, just share a little bit about yourself and let us know who you are.
Yep. So my name is Amy McDonald, and I'm running for District I, Position 2. I'm married to Greg McDonald. I have 3 children, one of which lives here in Dyer County still. The other 2 have moved off. I have 3 grandchildren. My oldest just graduated high school, and my youngest she's 9 now. Well, she's a little bit taller, so I want them to stay here. I want them to thrive here in Dyer County. I'm the director of Tennessee Homeless Solutions. I see how people struggle every day in their household budgets. And I just want to make the difference. I want my grandkids to stay, and I want the citizens in Dyer County to thrive.
Thank you, Amy. I want to begin with if you are elected, what in District I, what are some of the challenges that not only made you say, "Hey, look, I'm going to run," but that you want to face if elected?
Yeah. So some of the first things that I want to focus on if I'm elected is updating our policies. Some of our policies. Well, all of our policies are back 2007, for instance, our Code of Ethics policy. Purchasing policy we still follow the 1957 policy. We have to follow, as a commission, CTAS, which is with the University of Maupin, and they released updated policies, and we've never elected those. So, that's one of my first things for me, because if we're going to make all these changes going forward, we need to start it with a good base.
Okay, what are some specifically in those policies that you'd like to see changed?
Well, the conflict of interest policy. Okay. There's some things that need to be updated in there. I don't want to call anybody out, but there's been some people in office that have made a lot of money and should not have.
What about, does that include term limits? Somebody mentioned that earlier tonight.
Well, term limits, we do have our elections, but, I don't see that there shouldn't be anyone going, over 12 years. Okay. If you can't do what you need to do in 8, then, it's time to pass the buck to someone else to let them, with their new goals.
Yeah, I kind of believe that's what term limits are. I think we have them every election cycle.
Yeah.
That's just the way I think. I believe there was a meeting last Thursday you initiated having to do with stray and pack dogs.
Yes.
Roaming at large. How can that issue be resolved?
So by the end of the meeting, we all agreed on 4 things. Spay and neuter, we need to do something with that. We need some sort of clinic here in Dyer County or something closer that the programs can utilize. We need education, and we need enforcement. Those 4 things. The last thing is animal control, and that's going to be the toughest conversation, I think, when we all sit down at the table, because everybody sees what it's going to look like differently. But there needs to be, in my opinion, some variant of that, and how that looks is just going to have to be discussed, and we'll cross that road when we get there.
Well, do you feel like the county should operate a shelter somewhat like Tipton County did?
I think that's going to be a group decision and not an Amy decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What are some of the other challenges that you see going forward in Dyer County that are on top of your list? I know you mentioned policies earlier was one, and the one we obviously the aforementioned, but is there any other policies that you want to, or the other things that you want to deal with for your constituency?
Yeah, our budget. The budget is big on my list. I attended, I think, all but one of the budget committee meetings, and there was, by the end of it, there's only a $3,700 cushion for the upcoming year for the new commissioners, as far as if anything happens. So, the one thing that I didn't see a lot of was negotiations with all the departments. I'm not going to pick on the sheriff's department, but I'm going to use it as an example. I fully feel that the deputies deserve raises. But a deputy is no good if you don't have a car to drive, because the motor vehicle line item has zero. He took all that out and put it in salaries. So there's going to have to be some things looked at. I think that the CLB cannot pass this budget at the end of the month. I think that they need to call all the department heads back to the table and ask them to cut something so we can get some money in the motor vehicles.
Okay, is that the first thing? Is there anything else budget-wise that
well,
you're looking at?
If you look at the jail, their food bill, they're having trouble paying it now. It's gone down $66,000 in the past 2 years, and food prices have gone up. You got to feed the inmates, and you got to feed them healthy of some, nutritional wise, because if not, you're going to get another civil lawsuit that they weren't treated correctly. And, there's I used to work at the jail from 1999 to 04 when I first moved to Dyer County in 99. And so, there's a lot of good people who make bad mistakes, and that's how they end up in there. There's probably only been 2 or 3 really bad people that I can say are bad and evil, and one of them was Thacker. You remember Thacker? But the rest of them, a lot of them, they're good people. They made bad mistakes, but they don't deserve to eat, this much either. So that's, that comes with my compassion, right, for humanity. Yeah.
How long have you been doing the Tennessee Homeless Solutions?
I've been working with the homeless for 20 years, since 2005. I was director at Matthew 2540 from 05 to 07 to 2014, and then I went to Tennessee Homeless Solutions.
What is budget management there? Is pretty tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I do that.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is the
if you don't have the money, you can't spend it. We work off federal grants, and I have to balance 20. There's 31 employees, and we run off a $4 million budget, and we spend a lot of money. We spent a lot of money on direct services. That's where our admin, I think, was at 2% in our last audit, something like that. It's very small. So I focus on direct services, and staff, they work really hard, and there's a lot of tough situations, and they don't make a lot of money, but I've tried to, stair-step raises and salary adjustments through the years. You just can't just jump in and give this huge raise,
So how is that experience going to transition you into, if you're elected into the legislative body?
I think just the common sense, looking at the situation and the money, and, this is what we can do and this is what we can't do. And until the new mayor and the new commission get some more revenue coming in, then we can start to look at really stair-stepping the deputies where they really need to be, because they deserve. They see a lot of things none of some of us can just only imagine.
They're the ones getting shot at.
Exactly, and they're there, and I've seen some of the stuff that they've seen, and I would never want to do it. I'd rather work with homeless people all day.
Well, I mean, it's going to take some hard work there, because you'll never hear me saying they get paid enough. But when you got the city and the county, if those are wide-ranging differences right there, you're going to have people running from one agency to the other for a few more dollars, no matter which insurance is better, and this, that, and the other. And my hope is in the future that they will mirror each other to where both are outstanding. They do get what they deserve. I think if you've got one going to $29 an hour topping out, and one tops out at 26, the one at 26 is going to have trouble finding people to work, no matter how good the insurance, retirement, or anything else is, because young people today look at the dollar. They look at the money. So I hope that we work together, the county and the city, to bring that closer together.
Yeah.
All right, Amy, that's all the questions I have. Are you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Amy, if you want to make one final appeal or anything else that you want to add to the voters of your district, and we'll turn it over to you.
Sure. So I think I got 495 votes, the primary, and so I ask everyone who voted and didn't vote to come out and vote. I really want to make the change in Dyer County so that everybody sees, you feel the change. You have to feel the change to know there's a change. And so I think that's what we need to do, is help people feel the change. And when I'm going to call Miss Pam tomorrow, so everybody, I hear she's not feeling very well, so we need to all say a prayer for her and her health. Absolutely. Yeah. And where's Bubba Cobb? Did he leave? Oh. So Bubba and John, I ask that you not pass that budget at the end of the month.
Amy, thank you so much for
You're welcome.
Your help and everything. That's going to conclude our candidates forum. We do encourage everyone to come out on the 6th. That's going to be on August 6th, and if you don't come out, Smitty's going to come paint your house pink. So come out and vote. Once again,
please get out and vote.
All right, thank you, Smitty, and we're going to close it out here. Thank you so much for those of you who are watching here today, and we appreciate the opportunity that we have had to come into your homes, to your cell phones. And again, thank you, Smitty. Thank you to Sergio and Steve for making this all possible. And for everyone here at Stage 4 Media, thank you so much for watching.